Guys, welcome back to iDrum. Today we are in London's O2 Arena, where I have the pleasure of talking to one of the UK's finest drummers. He's the go-to guy for the UK's biggest pop stars at the moment, and has been for quite a while. It's Mr. Karl Brazil.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
What a nice introduction that was.
Well, you can pay me later. Great to see you. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today.
Thanks for coming.
Now we've met. You've given us a little kit tour on stage. We've seen the big production, everything that's going on.
Yeah. It's quite a setup, isn't it?
It's a hell of a setup.
Not mine. I mean the whole gig.
Yeah.
It's for an arena tour. I think the scale of it, and I mean the amount of trucks and production that is going on with this. I've never seen a tour of this size in these sort of venues.
Really.
I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, the stadium tour we did last year was something like 75 trucks, which is a lot. And on this, I think it's 23 or something like that, but that's a lot.
Yeah,
but when you look at the amount of expense that's gone into the production, the whole stage is built and the lights, there's no expense spared.
Yeah.
Backstage is like a circus, there's people for days.
Yeah,
and all sorts.
absolutely.
But it's really enjoyable part of it for me. I love all the different areas of a tour working to pull just 2 hours together of a show. It's pretty amazing stuff.
Absolutely, and the way it all looks on stage, it's all set out perfectly. So there's this sort of maritime theme, a bit of a Titanic thing going on.
Yeah, it's
without giving too much away.
It's in two actually. I think
Right.
at the top of the show, it's like it's a West End production in an arena, basically.
Yeah.
Very Vegas, very glitzy. So there is an interval in the show, which is partly there for to make it feel like you're at a show. And for the second half performance, they change behind that huge semicircle drake. They change the whole thing to look like a boat. So there's a funnel that is inflated at the back, at the top, and you've got the decks and the big video wall behind. Just so much for the show. It has like a whole theatre audience on it, or it can have. It's just doing different things throughout the show, which changes the whole look. And then the pit where the audience are in is shaped like the front of a boat. So eventually they bring all sorts of props out to make it look like a boat.
Nice.
And
at which point you get your captain's hat on?
Yeah, there's even a few seagulls flying around the stage. No joke.
Really?
Well, they have Velcro seagulls put in different places. It's like Spot the Seagull. There was one on my kick drum the other night.
Right.
The piano player had one on his head the other night. But thankfully they don't do any mess anywhere, so they're only fake pigeons. Fake seagulls.
Yeah.
Good name for a band.
It's great.
The fake seagulls.
I had a good name for a band the other day. Oats for Goats. What do you
That's
think
a
of
good. I like that. Yeah, that's
Anyway,
a good one.
Digress. I'm not sure if we've actually even mentioned this is for the Robbie Williams Swings Both Ways tour.
Yeah, it's a mouthful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a little
Swings Both Ways tour. Yeah, this is the show is predominantly swing, with a few golden hits thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very, very different thing. I mean, Robbie toured last year, as you know, did a stadium tour of rock and roll, and his normal repertoire of music. So, for someone to be touring the year after and doing arenas, it's pretty spectacular. You know, I don't think there's many artists that could do that.
Mm.
But there's also not many artists that can turn their hand to a different style of music and tour it. You know, so they've been very. I think he's been quite strict to just put a different show on, in a different mindset, different clothes, hair, the lot. It goes for us all. Yeah. And it's remarkable to watch and be the beat behind, because the way he changes his character for this show is pretty amazing. He's really funny. He's got all the slapstick stuff down. He's banter with the audience. I mean, he could stand up. He literally does do 15 minutes of just chat and making everybody laugh at some point. So he's the full rounded entertainer.
Yeah, in the traditional sense.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's really nice to be up there and be behind that.
Sure.
You never know what he's going to do, and that's what I like about Rob. He's a very spontaneous character. Yeah. And he's got that bit of Norman Wisdom vibe in him. He'll go to catch his mic stand and drop it, and go, oh, and all that stuff. But I love that. Yeah. I'm a big fan of old British slapstick comedy. So.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, if it's that purely British feel about it, that's
yeah.
Great. But
I mean,
obviously, it's not just him, is it? I mean, you've got to be on your toes, and this must be a very different situation musically for you. To be driving. This
was a massive challenge for me, because I'm sure most people know. I don't know if you know. I've never been much of a reader.
Right. Okay.
Which is partly. I mean, as I started to craft my own career and get reputation, I was never picking gigs up as a reader. I was never doing pit band stuff. I was picking up a lot of pop gigs and rock gigs, where I've always played from the inside to what I feel is right for the gig, you know. And luckily for me, that's come about. But this was the first gig I've come across where I've gone, oh man, if I could just read now, it would have been so useful. And I thought, well, you ain't going to become a fluent reader in the space of 4 weeks. So I went into the garage 2 hours a day and just practiced as much as I could, because I had to learn all the hits.
Of course, yeah.
The brass hits, and I've got quite a musical ear. I like to think that I'm a musical drummer, so I always learn phrases in my head and lyrics and songs, and it just lets me know where I am and where to put and where not to put stuff. But I would say, I mean, years ago when I was 16, I was at Walsall College of Music in the Midlands, and it was a great little period in my life where Steve Palmer, who's Karl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, it's his brother.
Right.
The Palmer family are pretty well known for being all good drummers, and so Steve Palmer in particular, who's a great look-alike for Gary Lineker, by the way. I was in his class of about 10 students, and he pulled me out one of the days, and he just said, "Karl, I'm going to have to dep out the Ronnie Scott's gig," which was his gig. When Ronnie's was in Birmingham. It's now a lap dance club. Useful information. Called the Rocket Club, but now it's the one in Birmingham. Yeah, it was Ronnie Scott's, and it was a great little club. And I went down to have a look with my dad. I said, I've been asked to do this dep, and not being a reader, I went down and walked in, seen music stands and sheet music. I went, no, but Dad said, no, come on, let's have a listen. And I went home scratching my head, and it was Dad. I have to thank my dad. He pushed me into doing it, and it was a totally different style of playing. And the only thing I'd done previous to that was with the Birmingham Wind Orchestra. I'd had plenty of opportunities to read, really, but I think, how can I put this? I'm not without blowing smoke. I've always had an ability to listen to stuff as a kid and play it. I can listen to it and know if it's tricky or know what to do. And I find that my ears are quicker than looking at sheet music, and that's where I'm at now. So I always prefer to learn it. I don't think I'm quite a flary, expressive player. I'd struggle to just keep referring
Absolutely,
to dots.
yeah.
But
you probably have to compromise some of that expression, you know.
Yeah, a little bit. But now, I mean, if I had, it would have been useful in rehearsals, because to keep referring to the conductor and the MD, just saying, just a little reminder. Remember, I don't read, when everyone keeps saying we're going from bar, whatever it is. It's
right.
like, oh! And in your head you go, what is this? But if someone just says second chorus, you're like, oh,
right,
okay, relax. So I've got my own cheat sheets, but this gig in particular, as I said, I've worked quite hard, more than I have on other gigs where it's more of a comfort zone for me, to just get some rudiments off, some chops, some brass hits, understand what's right for the gig, the sound. As we just talked through the kit, the sound was a massive important part. Talking to the lead trumpet player, playing with the piano player, it's just a very different mindset.
Yeah.
But I feel so much better for it. I feel like I've got my hand speed up. I feel like I've definitely got more swing than I had 10 weeks ago. So it's only for the better now. But at first I was like, what do I do here? Do I go for? I'll talk you through what happened in a minute. But I just want to go back to Ronnie Scott's, because I think that gig was the only window that gave me an insight and a bit of confidence. I went down and recorded the gig on a cassette player. I'm only young.
A while ago.
I'm only young. And the cassette, I went home with the cassette and I was like, oh gosh, looking back now, it wasn't that tough, but it just scared me a little bit because I hadn't done it before. But I did a year then for Steve Palmer.
Right.
Thank you, Steve, once again. That was a great opportunity. And he came to watch me the other night, which made me a bit, I wanted to be good.
Yeah.
I think it went well.
I'm sure he did him proud.
Yeah, he sent me a lovely text. But we had a year at Ronnie's doing that, and it was great, because that was a real. If that hadn't happened, I'd have been totally in the dark maybe with this, because I've done a few bits here and there, but nothing on this scale. Certainly not arena level, playing with the likes of the brass guys that I'm playing with are the best. It's super tight brass section. Guy Chambers, MD. I should talk you through the band.
Yeah, please do.
Guy Chambers, MD. Steve Sidwell, great arranger, conductor, MD. He did all the arrangements for this show, which are great. And he was great for me in rehearsals as well. Really, give me some good insights and ideas, and confidence really. And then there's on the brass, Paul Spong, and Ryan Quigley, Ben Edwards, Mark Brown, Mike Kearsley. I keep getting Mike Kearsley's name wrong, but it's Mike. They're a great brass section. Trevor as well, Martin. They're a great bunch to play with, super tight, and I can't actually see them where I am. I'm underneath where they are.
Oh, they're actually up a level from.
Yeah, so how they're getting the hits
Wow.
every night, which I'm leading. They're on the button every night, so that's something else we've learnt to do. We've got no sight lines, and we've managed to nail it. I've got Dan Ellis on percussion as well.
I was going to say, big percussion section right next to
huge, yeah. I've only done a couple of gigs with Perk, and it's a real luxury just to have someone playing the tambourine on the backbeat.
Yeah.
Dan's feel is incredible, lovely guy, and I've really enjoyed playing with him. He's right next to me, and he's very visual. He's like a cartoon character. Every time you look at him, he's singing the words. So that's fun. And we've got Tommy Blaze. Tommy sings for Strictly Come Dancing. He's one of the main vocals on that.
Right.
Tommy's singing and playing keys, mandolin, Hammond, all sorts. He's great. We've got 2 BVs, Sarah and Dinosh, who are great. Got a terrible drum tech. Not really, sorry, we cut that. 2 BVs, Dinosh and Sarah. We have Dave Hartley on piano, who's sadly not with us tonight. He's been a bit poorly the last couple of days, so get well soon, Dave. He'll be back for Australia. We have, I go from left to right, obviously I've mentioned, working with Guy Chambers has been brilliant. I've worked with Guy a lot. In fact, this can lead me on to the story I was going to tell, and you get to ask me some questions in a minute.
I'm quite happy with it this way.
Guy, I used to record with Guy a lot back in the day, and I actually auditioned for Robbie Williams when I was 17. And I think there's a video out there now of it.
What's the audition?
I'm not watching it yet. I'm not going to watch it because I think I'll realise why I didn't get the gig when you see the hairstyle and the shirt I was wearing. I think I had a ponytail and a pinstripe shirt, and I looked like a bit iDrum mole. And so we did. I went down for this audition, and I couldn't. A friend of mine drove me because I couldn't drive. I was so excited. Sat outside Depp Studios, and the audition got got given a cassette tape again to learn a few tracks in the car. People want to see how spontaneous you were and picking stuff up. So I did it and went in, played all right. And I could tell the guys were into what I was doing. I was just a bit young and clearly had no dress sense or hair sense. So
it was the 90s, wasn't it? Did anyone have dress
well,
sense?
they looked a lot cooler than me. But anyway, I think I went away from that audition, and as the years passed, I realised that doing an audition like that, and I always say this to any drummers that go for auditions and come home upset if they haven't got it or getting a call, but doing the audition in the first place puts your name out there, gives you the experience of going to something like that and feeling what it's like, one, to not get a call, how to conduct yourself, and it's a nerve-wracking thing, you know. The auditions aren't nice. So looking back, when I first got a call again off Guy to go and do a session for him, he'd heard about me through someone else, and I think we've had a conversation. I'm not sure if you could remember. I said, I auditioned for Robbie when I was, and he went, did you? I said, yeah, I'm back again. And I've done a lot of sessions for guys over the last probably 8 years or something.
Yeah.
And it's great. So when he's come back on board with rather than their relationships blossoming, they've written a great album together, some good hits this year. Playing with Guy live has been a really nice thing. So when the swing thing came round, finished the stadium tour last year, Robbie said, I'd really love you and Jerry Meehan. I didn't mention Jerry Meehan, great bass player.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish the rest of the band. Gary Nuttall, they're the 2 long-standing members of the band. And Jerry Meehan, like in the same shoes as myself, had to quickly get the double bass out, blow the cobwebs away, and start working hard. And before the tour rehearsal started, he got carpal tunnel from practicing at home, and he was in agony. So he went and had surgery and sent me this picture 2 weeks before rehearsal started, in bed with a mess, and just going, and I was like, there's no way he's coming back from this. But he did. Yeah, and he's playing his
amazing.
ass off. He really is, and he's great, Jerry, and we do a lot of stuff together. So we finished the stadium tour as a rock band last year, and Robbie said to me and Jerry, I'd love you to come and do the swing tour. Are you up for it? I said, I'm definitely up for it, but I said, maybe we'll get together and have a play with Guy and stuff. So we did exactly that in London.
So was it a case of sort of re-auditioning as it was a different style, or just getting in there together?
The word audition wasn't used, but I would definitely say if we couldn't cut it, we wouldn't be here now. Right. Because I think people have got jobs to do. I'm the last person that did the swing gig was Ralph Salmons,
Right.
who's a bloody hard act to follow.
Absolutely,
Seriously great player. So it had to be near that, or you know, I don't think I'd be on the gig. So with that in mind, the word audition wasn't used, but everyone wanted everyone to do it. We wanted everyone knew what personnel, because we've got a good vibe on the road and it's a well-oiled machine there. We got down to London, we had a play, and when you're playing, whether you're auditioning or not, you know when you're sort of having a go at something and you've got to prove yourself. So I listened to a lot of drum stems, and the playing's great on the record, and there's no way you're going to bluff your way through a gig like this. So I listened to the stems and went, ooh. And okay, yeah.
No,
Got the train back to Birmingham, just tapping away with that anxiety, and then I got a call off Robbie himself to say, "Here, you smashed it," was his words.
Nice.
And I just went, "Oh man, that's so good to hear those words. Thanks for the call."
Yeah.
And then I put the phone down and rang Jerry, and we were delighted, because definitely wanted to be on the gig because we deserved to be on it, and I think we both worked really hard on it. I went to stay with Jerry. He lives down in near Kent way. He's got this annex studio, flash kit, in the garden. So we went out, and the neighbours would have been howling, playing, me and him practising "I Want to Be Like You" with the door open. And we only played a verse and a chorus, and then we both went into the garden, walked around in circles, and went, "This is going to be really hard, isn't it? It really hard." We both had a moment of like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
So
it's nice to know that you've been
Yeah,
at your level, you can have those moments of panic.
I think it's great to be tested, and I'm no spring chicken anymore. And this is a gig that's put me on the back foot and made me have to work hard. And not saying I don't work hard on any of the gigs, but this is the first thing in a while that's put me out of my comfort zone and made me have to work hard to be better.